Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Marvel Monday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Marvel Legends series Khonshu Build-A-Figure Wave Zombie Scarlet Witch. Let's get into it! Let's begin with a look at the packaging. There we have Marvel Legends series Build-A-Figure Khonshu. I'll start my number 4 and up. Oh no, it's the Watcher. He's watching you. Zombie Scarlet Witch Disney Plus. Nice digital render of the figure with some artwork in the background, looks like. Marvel Studios What If. Warning, don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there. Plastic-free packaging, except tape and glue. Hasbro print. On the bottom, plastic-free packaging, except tape and glue. And includes figure and 3 accessories. On this side, it's the Build-A-Figure Khonshu, with numbers corresponding down here as to which figure in the wave comes with which part. And no pictures of the cross sale, but we have Agent Jimmy Woo, Classic Loki, this figure, Zombie Scarlet Witch, He Who Remains, Howard the Duck, and the Red Skull. Each sold separately, subject to availability. On this side, hey look, it's the Watcher, and he's like watching Zombie Scarlet Witch. Marvel Legends series. On the back, Marvel Legends series Zombie Scarlet Witch. Nice digital render of Zombie Wanda and her accessories, and the Khonshu piece that comes with the figure. Warning, attention! Achtung, don't stick things in any language pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to the babies. Marvel print, small print, fine print, legalese print, made in China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, a barcode, Hasbro print. Attention, don't stick things in your French pie hole. And recycled print. That, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and her accessories. And handy dandy tweezers here. We'll start with a look at the accessories. And at this point, the point that this figure came out, I don't even think these were new. So they're definitely not new now, but it's the like twisty magic effect that clips over the arms or the hands. Made out of a translucent plastic, and there are 2 of them. And I don't think they're exactly the same, but I could be wrong. So they do have nice molded details in them, though. We'll give them that. Now to the figure. And starting with the best part of this figure, which is the head and all these flowing tendrils of hair. And I say the best part of this figure. It's also the worst part of this figure, because a heavy head and little feet do not a happy toy poser make. But that is what it is. But I will have to say the sculpt on this is just wild looking, and I love this. This looks great. All this hair just flowing everywhere. And then you get in and you see the zombie face and just the deco hits that they did on here, and her eyes. They're not dead like the other, well, they're not like the other ones. You know, the other ones are all whited out. She has, like, magical color in them. And I want to say this one was done with the inkjet printing. But look at all those. Just excellent, excellent. And the vision says, don't wake her up. She's even got some on her chin there and down here. And then she's all kind of, you know, ripped up parts on her sleeve. And then, you know, we've got some bone exposed right there. And then the hands are probably all reused because I don't see any zombie-ish type stuff on there. But then we've got, you know, ripped there, some ripped clothing up here, you know, kind of her coat's in tatters down here, and you can see some of that staining from, you know, previous meals on her jacket, at least around the edges here. Not on the inside though. She keeps the inside clean. And so I want to say the majority of this is reuse. Like probably all of the torso, the upper and lower parts of the torso are reuse. And then they may have, nope, see, this is not molded in. This is just a paint hit or a tampo maybe. So the legs are also, from the neck down is probably reuse on everything except for the arms. May be all new sculpt, at least from the bicep swivel to the wrist. That may be new. These pieces are sculpted in. And of course they are pinless where the legs are pinned. So, and then, you know, she's wearing her little necklace there too. Oh, there's some staining up here from previous meals. That's always a nice little detail for zombie folk. Well, let's take a look at her articulation. She can look up that high. She can look down that low. She does have, let's see, a little bit of chicken neck, not much. Lots of zombie waggle though. And she can do the full exorcist. At the shoulder, 360 degrees worth of rotation there. And she can raise her arm up approximately 90 degrees. Cut at the upper bicep, full 360 degree rotation there. Double hinged pinless elbow, like I mentioned before, and it gives you that much bend. At the wrist, 360 degrees on an up and down hinge. So, jazz hands. And then on the other side is an in and out hinge, but still 360 degrees. So there's a cut here where the chest and the abdomen meet, and that gives her some hula. She can lean left, she can lean right, she can lean back, not too far, and then forward about that far. So there's that, and I think there's a rotation there as well. Yes, there is. This coat overlay does get in the way at the hips because there's nothing at the waist. She gives you that much of the splits. She kicks forward that far, not quite 90. Back that far, so not bad. Cut at the upper thigh, full 360 degree rotation there. And then double hinge pinned knee gives you that much bend. So not great, not horrible. Nothing in the shin. At the ankle, tilts down that far, tilts up that far, and it does have a pin for rocker. Now that, my friends, I'm going to try to stand her back up. And she is going to resist. Maybe that's got it. So there you have it, my friends. A look at the figure falling down and her accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Marvel Legends series, What If Zombie Scarlet Witch. Next to the Marvel Legends series, What If Zombie Captain America? And in the back there, the Marvel Legends series, What If Zombie Iron Man? For our last set of comparisons here, we have the Marvel Legends series, What If Zombie Scarlet Witch? With, from the Marvel Legends series, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From the G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison, from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Marvel Legends series, What If Zombie Scarlet Witch, I have to say this figure's a little bit of a mixed bag. While the head and hair sculpting and painting decos are great, the heavy head and the small feet do not lend to easy posability. Add in the pinned knees, which are traditionally weaker than the pinless knees, at least in my opinion, and you've got a figure that's not going to be shelf stable, so to speak. And if you're just using this one for the occasional picture, you got a stand that you can use with it. It might not be that much of a headache. If you're planning on making some kind of zombie Marvel display, definitely you are going to need a stand to keep this figure stable in your display and keep the legs from bending too badly at the knees. And when I tell you guys the knees are soft, they are really soft, okay? They should not have reused those pinned knees with this figure with that head of hair flowing out everywhere. And I'm sure Hasbro knew better, but they, decided not to use the new tooling on it. And I don't know if those, I know part of the arms are new tooling because they're pinless, and they're also, the rips and stuff or exposed areas are sculpted in rather than like the legs where they're just tampoed on. So there is that. And again, the deco on this figure is great, and I think the sculpt is probably a little bit out of date for when this figure came out, and it wouldn't have been so bad had they went ahead and updated the knees for this figure. That, I think that would have helped a lot. But I think a lot of this, from the neck, everything except for the arms, at least from the bicep swivel to the wrist and the head, everything about this figure is reused. Oh, the overlay is new as well because it's tattered, so it may just be a retool from an existing MCU Wanda. I'm not 100% sure because I never could get my hands on an MCU Wanda Avengers era. I do have the WandaVision version. But again, this figure looks impressive, but material wise, I guess, and engineering wise perhaps, it doesn't live up to its looks. And I don't know, maybe at some point I will try to find a different body for this Wanda, or maybe they'll make something different later on that can be used with it. I don't know. I'm not much of a painter and a sculptor and part swapper. Well, okay, I can part swap parts, but I'm not much of a modder, so there is that. Customizer, I guess, is the right word, isn't it? I'm just over here fishing for words. But, you know, so looks great. Engineering and materials don't live up to that look. And that's the bottom line on this. Maybe, you know, like some of the older parts don't live up to the newer parts as well. But if you need a zombie Wanda, this is pretty much your only bet as far as I know. Maybe there's a Select out there somewhere, but I don't think so. I think they're comic books only. But I could be wrong. No, I am wrong. They have done some MCU figures as well. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I am now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow. Or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future, you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.